There we go. I hate it when OBS decides to change all your microphone and speaker settings to default, which sometimes is not the active thing that's working. So, hello, you can hear me now. Welcome back for our next episode of Animus. We're on episode 61, which is hard to believe that we're that far into this thing. It's really fun.
I just realized something horrible, Raven.
What's that?
We're gonna have to play episode 69.
Nice. So horrible or amazing?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. I'm particularly psyched up for this episode because last session that we had, the party went into a crashed spaceship, which turned into a horror movie with horrible bloody disease and people with guns and flickering lights and stuff. It was very terrifying.
Brain mist.
Brain mist, yes. Which is as horrible as it sounds. So we're going to see if they can get themselves out of it today, which I'm excited for. Before we jump in, I'm going to say a few words about our sponsors, which are Fundamental RPG. It's the system that this game runs on. It is pretty simple, and it's a D20 system. It's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play things like sci-fi like this, or you can do high fantasy and virtually everything in between. You can pick up physical copies on Amazon if you want the physical book. If you prefer PDFs, if you do more online stuff or tablet type deals, you can get the PDF at coffee.com/Raven, like it's spelled in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Also there, you can pick up a free quick play guide, so you can give a lot of the core mechanics a try before actually picking up the whole thing. So very cool deal there. Also, our other sponsor is Die Hard Dice. They sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. You can get 10% off of your entire order if you use the code FUNRPG, all one word, all caps. And then I highly recommend checking out their purple velvet magnetic square tray. You can kind of see it behind me over there in the corner. I'm currently using one along with their magnetic dice tower, which fits right into the tray. It's just really cool. But they've got a lot of different colors and a few different shapes of trays, so go check that out. There's a link to those right there in chat. And with that out of the way, we're going to introduce everybody. So we'll start in the top left with Quinn. Tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Quinn. Used to go by Alien Jays. Don't do it anymore. I'm a writer. I'm parched. It's stupid hot out, and that's all. That's it. That's all. Sparky is a clone. I'm trying to like condense this as much as I can. It's a clone ex-assassin, now worrywart turned crew pet. That might be the most succinct.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. All right. Next, we've got V. Tell us a little bit about Annie and yourself.
Hi, I'm V, or Vanessa. I am an artist. I work primarily in digital, some watercolor as well, if you'd like to check out any of my work. I have an art Twitter, which is at PepperoDraws. That's Pepper like the candy. And I'm actually in the middle of hyperfixating on a piece right now. So if you want to check that out, I've got some whips posted up on my art Twitter. So have a look at those. I play Annie, who is sort of like our Robin Hood character. But instead of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, she steals from the rich and sells to the slightly less rich. She's somebody who works with a lot of digital information. She's an information broker. Or at least she was before the memory wipe, and the only member of the crew who decided to get her memories back. So she's chugging along, and we'll see if anything bad happens to her, because I've felt it in the air all day, and I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, that's just the brain mist. It's fine.
I don't know, because that's better. That's better. I don't know if brain mist really makes me feel at ease, Raven. Thank you. But yeah, that's me and Annie.
Awesome. Next, we've got Can. Tell us a little bit about Billy and yourself. You might be muted.
Yes, I was muted. Hi, I'm Can. Don't talk to me about brain mist right now. I've been sitting in a fibro fog for the last week, and have barely been awake. Hi, I'm here. I exist. I'm playing. Who the fuck am I playing again?
Billy.
Billy, thank you. Sorry. I'm here. I'm playing Billy. I swear I'm paying attention. Yeah. Billy is a cyborg who is getting used to like owning herself. So
I see what you did there.
yeah, that's me.
Awesome. And yeah, I sympathize. It's been constant off and on storms here for the last week. So today's like the first day I've
And
not
they
been enough
really-
frog.
Oh god, they
From
really
fibro.
fuck up your fibro too.
They really do.
like the air pressure changes so much.
Yeah, it's really rough. It's raining today, but like it's been raining since yesterday, so it's not changing. So it was okay for me today, but yeah, it's been rough. I sympathize. No worries. Next, let's hop over to Hannah. Tell us a little bit about Lev and yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Hannah, Hannah, etc. And I'll be playing Lev tonight, who is a newest member of the crew and the medic, which I think it might come in handy today. And that's terrifying. I also do guns though, so that also might come in handy today. I'm fairly certain we're approaching armed guards. It's gonna be great.
It'll be fine. All right, then last but not least, Goody, tell us a little bit about Captain and yourself.
Goodness, there we go. Okay, I'm Goody, and I play the captain. Captain is the only one who's kind of immune to everything going on right now. But I don't know how useful she's gonna be. Hopefully somewhat useful. But she just wants everyone to live and not have the disease spread, because she knows that brains are squishy and she doesn't want them more squishy. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right. And that just leaves me. I'm Raven. I am a professional GM and game designer and artist, and I do a whole bunch of things involving tabletop. You can find out all about my stuff and what I do at my Twitter, which is right below my face. The link in my bio and the pinned tweet will give you all the info that you might need. And then I play everybody else in the galaxy, including Daisy Thornwood and Rip Rose, both of who are on the ship with the crew. Both were previous big bads who have... Daisy's definitely been adopted. Rip, I think, is still kind of not completely adopted, but it seems to be reluctantly happening by the crew.
Well, he's been adopted by one of the crew who doesn't understand why he hasn't been adopted, but Daisy's been adopted.
Yep. Which is really funny. Rip is a stray with feet occasionally, that is all. That makes sense. But yeah, that's everything going into this episode. Currently, as far as player buffs and things, we've got Sparky with 1 advantage, and I have 2 advantages. And that's it on the board for now. I bring up for no reason.
I'm glad you did, because I had no idea.
Going into this episode, I believe we had everybody but Billy. I think going up to the bridge on this crashed ship.
Yeah, but Billy got told to go and sit in her room and stay in there in a hazmat suit.
That's right.
So did Daisy.
Daisy too, yeah.
Yep, we got told to go and stay in our rooms in hazmat suits.
Grounded.
And you're approaching the bridge where there were armed guards in front of it. Oh, hey, we got a advantage redeemed for Annie by Hannah with channel points. Awesome, thank you. There we go.
we're really not doing anything to help this brain fog telling me there's something in the air, you guys.
That's why you have a bad feeling. I got you.
Thank you, Hannah.
If anybody did not catch the episode prior to this one, there definitely was something in the air that was sort of metallic smelling, and eventually figured out that was aerosolized blood. Because there is some sort of pathogen on the ship that is causing people's brains to melt and then be violently expelled from their bodies, which is quite gruesome. You went next to the med bay as well, where there was a lot of sort of coolant fog in there. It was kind of hard to see, but definitely some folks in there not doing so hot, and in some dead bodies and that sort of thing. And then, yeah, you saw people with guns guarding the bridge. Your friend that you have with you,
Petey,
thank you. Petey from engineering, talked to them for a bit, and I think that's pretty much where we left off. So, armed guards are standing there. Petey's kind of explained what's happened, but they're waiting to kind of hear from anybody in your group to kind of confirm that and explain who you are. Who wants to speak up?
not Lev.
I want to, but I was shushed last episode, probably for good reason.
I guess Captain would.
Okay.
So what is it PD needs? Like, what is it PD's asking?
So PD has explained the situation to the guards while you're standing there. And the guards are sort of looking to your group to confirm that and kind of explain who you are, because they know who PD is.
Because we're here to ensure that their bioweapon doesn't get out, right?
Essentially, yeah.
We're a group of workers who were at the time visiting this planet, delivering various supplies, when a bunch of other ships decided to open fire on it. We are a neutral party, and we were simply exploring the ship to see if anybody was alive or if there was something hazardous on the ship, which obviously there is.
All right. Could I get a speech roll from you?
Yes.
Just did a roll for the guard.
Where's my speech? I can find speech.
It's at the very bottom of this skill list. 33.
Okay.
The guard rolled a nat 1, so you are very convincing, completely believes everything that you're saying, and they lower their guns. So the door to the bridge is like one of those really big blast doors that seals in the middle. It's closed very tightly shut, and there are two guards in front of it with automatic weapons. They lower their guns, and the one that you were speaking to just sort of nods and says, "Okay, yeah, we don't really know. We didn't really know what's going on. We obviously experienced the attack, but then the bridge went quiet." And you know, we heard all the screaming happening from the rest of the ship, and we got orders to secure the bridge. There was what felt like an impact, but we weren't even sure if we had crashed on a planet or had just been hit by something. Okay, well, yeah, if there's been a breach, then we definitely need to protect the population. How can you help us?
Well, I can confirm you did indeed crash on a planet with people.
And the color just drains from his face just a little bit. You can tell it's starting to sink in just how big of a problem this is.
We need to find a way to contain the shit you got going on in here. A different part of our team has been rerouting it into an empty space, but obviously that's not going to hold forever.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor.
We also.
Oh,
I was going to say we also need to know if there is any form of antidote that could have been in your possession, or more information on what exactly it is you were carrying.
One of the officers on the bridge probably would be able to tell you that, or one of the doctors in the med bay. We don't know those specifics. We're here to make sure people don't get in and things don't get out. They don't really tell us what it is we're guarding.
Are you sure there's anyone on the bridge?
Well, there were people on the bridge, and someone after the impact obviously was alive enough to seal the bridge. But we haven't heard anything from them yet.
Can we get in there? Is there a way? There's no way to communicate with them, you're saying, obviously, right?
Well, they haven't communicated anything with us except to secure it, so we're kind of on a need-to-know basis. The comm panel's right there. We can try to ask them.
Yeah, we kind of need to know. So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, sorry. This is just not SOP.
Yeah, this is super stressful. We're here to help, however we can. So we're just gonna. Makes like a button pressing motion.
Yeah, he very nervously goes to the comm panel and pushes the button. It's like, hi, Captain, whatever officer is in charge on the bridge right now. We've got some locals here who were here to help us contain the situation. Apparently, we've crashed on a populated planet, and our cargo is becoming a problem. There's some static for a moment, and a pause of about 30 seconds, enough to where you can start to see the guard kind of start to sweat a little bit, wondering, oh crap, is anybody alive on the bridge? And then that static is eventually cut by a noise as somebody opens up their microphone. They, yeah, that's Sergeant, yeah. All right, yeah, that's a problem. We can't let you onto the bridge because, as you mentioned, the cargo has become a problem. We sealed off the bridge completely before any of the pathogen could make it onto here. So we're just going to have to talk via radio for a minute.
Sorry, real quick. What the fuck did we go to the bridge for?
I
don't remember.
think it was...
The med bay was locked.
Yeah,
Right.
med bay was sealed, and where you guys are trying to find some sort of antidote or more information on what the fuck
Mostly
this is.
someone who could tell us more about what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
okay.
It's where all the officers are that are alive, at least.
So are they sacrificing themselves, or are they trying to protect themselves?
They're sacrificing every fucking one else.
Yeah.
I'm half tempted as captain to just rip that door open.
Fuck your quarantine.
This is now your problem too.
Yeah,
that's what a good captain does.
that is how we roll. So
it's true. But yeah, that's basically the situation. As they went, oh crap, there's been a breach, and they sealed off the bridge.
I'm gonna look at the two guards on the outside, be like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, you are not being paid enough for this.
Yeah,
do they have any kind of protective gear?
No, they are just in their uniforms, and the private on the other side of the door is looking real nervous right now. Like, did he say pathogen?
Okay. Do you know anywhere nearby that there is protective gear?
On bridge?
For yourself. Because you may have noticed that we're all in full fucking suits.
yeah, the private's starting to freak out.
Well, except for
but-
the captain.
yeah.
Captain's captain.
That would be such a
But
sight.
the sergeant kind of snaps out of it. You tell his training kicks in. Like, I've been trained for this. I know what I'm doing. And so he just starts jogging down the hallway, and comes back a couple minutes later with a couple of suits.
Okay. Do we want to keep talking to these guys through the comms, or do we want to try and get access to the med bay?
We can ask them to open the med bay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, that might be super dangerous because we could see it was really like misty in there, right?
Yeah, your standard horror movie lab with the fog and everything in there. Some bloody handprints on the glass.
Shadowy
Slowly
figures.
strobing light,
Yeah, there's definitely a flickering light towards the back of the lab.
They got the full package.
Mm-hmm.
Flickering lights in the mess hall, flickering lights in the med bay. Get your shit together.
Weird HVAC.
They didn't pay their
Kind of
electric
sounds
bill.
like a scream.
Yeah. There's another crackle on the comm. Are y'all still out there?
Yeah, we're just making sure that your guards out here that are protecting the bridge and ostensibly you are in full vac suits so that they're not affected by whatever this pathogen is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've already been exposed, so yeah, no, that's a good idea. Good. Keep it up, soldiers.
Lev pushes on the comm button. Do you have an antidote or not?
No. At that, that's why we sealed off the bridge. Because we're gonna have to figure that out. That's kind of what we were in the process of doing. That's why we were in space, so that we didn't.
Are you saying that you made a fire with no way to put it out?
Well, we were working on the way to put it out, making sure that the fire was actually going to work as a fire that we needed, to continue the metaphor. And that's why we had the fire in space, where if something bad happened, it would be in space where there's not people.
Annie's in the background while this person is talking, and she's doing that thing where you're like, "Nee, nee, nee, nee," but she's not making the noise. She's like, yeah. She's just, like, this is pissing her off, and she's just being, a little asshole about it in the background.
Yeah.
While they continue, Sparky's just going to put a hand on Captain's shoulder and say, if we're all exposed, it might put a fire under them to get them exposed too. And just kind of lightly pat and leave it at that.
Captain's going to look at the door. Can I roll to try to open the door?
You absolutely can. So if you're going to brute force it, it's going to be a might roll, which, as I recall, Captain's is ridiculously high.
Cap.
I get the feeling we might be recruiting a bunch more people out of these officers.
Well,
who are
any that survive can stay on the
non-officers.
colony.
29,
to.
and then I believe I can put my android on top of it.
Yeah. You can do that. What's your training in that?
Or is it 6?
6. Okay, so you'd make it a 35.
35.
I'm not sure
Could
if
be a
that's
time thing.
Yeah. You definitely can do it with repeated strikes, but I to reference the DC
You know what?
chart,
Honestly, the
because I
repeated
think that's
strikes
really
might be
close.
It's
the
close, I
repeated
think.
strikes might be the best way to go, because as soon as they realize you're putting a dent in the door, they might just get their act together.
I mean, really, all
Or
you
they
gotta
might
do
shoot.
is
Either
Yeah,
way
true.
works.
I mean, as far as they know, everyone they're talking to is a human right now.
that's true.
True.
The terrifying visage of just completely unprotected Cap coming through.
I don't think that's gonna be enough. You'd probably need like a 45 to 55 to rip this particular door open. But you definitely make a big dent in it. And if you keep doing that, you definitely would be able to get it open.
Okay.
I assume you're using the arm blades as well?
Yeah.
As you do that, the two guards do pull their guns up and take a few steps back and go, whoa, 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 what are you doing?
They left you out here to die.
I'm simply changing the interest of matters for them.
We're all about equality here.
The two guards look at each other for a second, and then the sergeant covers up the comm panel, goes, yeah, it's a real shame how you overpowered us and tore this door open. Hold on a sec. And then he just fires a few rounds off into the hallway.
Lev strikes the inside of their arm with the gun to be like,
Yeah.
Sparky throws himself against the door get down!
Yeah, they play along with that.
Okay, I'll hit the door again then.
Back off. After let's let the dice decide. Yeah, after 4 more assaults on the door like that of just horrible metal scraping and some steel-like substance being ripped apart sounds. You get a small hole in the door. Almost what classic movie is that from? Psycho, I think is the movie.
The Shining has one.
The Shining. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So you can stick your head through this
I'm gonna
hole.
turn my eye lights on.
Perfect. Had a feeling.
I was so hoping you would say that.
Could I get a daunt roll from you? I'm gonna
Can
roll
she
to
please
see.
have bonuses for the eyes and the fact that she just ripped a hole open in the door?
That's a good point. You do that with advantage.
How do I do with advantage?
Just roll twice.
24.
All right. They unfortunately got a nat 20.
God damn it.
So they don't wet themselves, but it's still very intimidating. There are some guns pointed at your head now, and the captain, who has futilely, grabbed a handkerchief or something like that and is holding it over their face, like their nose and their mouth.
Captain's just gonna say,
classic curative collar.
yeah,
Just screams out,
Captain's
what are you doing?
just gonna say in a very monotone way, "Oh no, you've been exposed."
They're a little uncertain of what to do. Because they're suddenly dealing with the realization that they've been exposed to this very deadly pathogen. There is
Sucks
something
to
with
suck.
red eyes that just ripped open their bridge door, which is not supposed to be able to, do that to. And yep, one of them kind of loses their nerve. They just lose it and they start shooting at you. Which is gonna be a 27 to hit. You can use, since it's not really a combat round, you can use whatever defense that you would like. Although blocking with your face would be a bit of a challenge.
That would be a move, but no.
It would. I feel like that would be a
Just-
free daunt.
Just to play devil's advocate here, 27 is pretty good, but that is a big sturdy door that you're not supposed to be able to shoot through, and a tiny hole where Captain's face is. So just saying. I mean, they're scared. The cap might need advantage on this one.
She could just pull her head back.
34 versus ranged is plenty. Even without the bonus versus ranged, it still would be plenty. So you're able to pull your head out of the way. And inside the bridge is just pandemonium. There are bullets flying through that hole. There's people yelling and shouting. It's quite a lot of chaos, which will probably go on for some time. Is there anything you want to do during that chaos?
Just we could go back to the med bay. I could knock on the window if we want to do. They might be more productive than these assholes.
While they're shooting themselves silly, Annie just makes a motion to look at her watch, and she's not wearing one.
Love that.
Sparky minds back
Okay.
Captain
gonna
would
say
say to
something.
Lev, like, if you would like to go try to gain entrance, you're welcome to.
Actually, well, I don't have to whisper to the soldiers because there's gunfire going on.
Yep.
I'll ask the soldiers if they have any like stun grenades, perhaps. Riot control, if you will.
Yeah. The sergeant hands you a couple. The private holds up his gun, like, who wants it?
Yeah. So Sparky will take them. If there's ever a break in the fire, like if they're reloading or something, Sparky will just yell, "Now a fire's under you. It's sink or swim. Do you want to keep shooting or do you want to help us fix this?"
Try, you can use speech or charm with that one, whichever one you'd prefer.
Oh, that's tough. I'm going to use speech.
Okay. Nice, nat 20, 49
Nice.
total. I'm not even gonna roll for them. That's just
Actually,
that's
I'm going to say while I'm doing that,
beautiful.
there's the audible chink of that coming, like the pin coming out of a grenade, and I'll hold the lever, obviously.
Yeah. The yelling and a lot of the gunfire sort of dies down. There's no more bullets flying through the opening now. And you hear the captain yelling to everybody else in the bridge, "What are you doing?" There's like a you know that like thud noise when somebody gets hit on the back of the head with a gun in the movies. Yeah, there's that noise and a crumpling sound as somebody falls to the ground. Somebody has like that white handkerchief that the captain was holding to his face, sort of holds it through the hole.
Good. I'm glad we could see reason here. Now open the doors.
They try. There's this sickening scraping noise. The door doesn't really want to open because it's been damaged too much.
Can I, like I did before, can I use the manual bypass?
You can try. It's
Yeah.
more of a physics problem than like a controls
Because
problem.
here's what I'm thinking is when you think of like, this is just obviously sliding doors and bunker doors are wildly different, but I'm thinking if there's a way to disengage whatever rollers they're on so that it's just freestanding, we might be able to push it open.
That's a good idea. Yeah, you can absolutely try. There is sort of like a maintenance panel next to the door that has both computerized and like physical options there for you.
Computerized. Yeah.
23. Yeah, with having PD there to give you access codes, and the sergeant for that matter, yeah, you're able to disengage the sort of magnetic mechanism that pulls it open and closed. So yeah, it's a bit like putting a car into neutral, so it'll
Mm-hmm.
slide easier.
Okay. And then, yeah, Sparky will have the guards try to, help both just everyone pitch in to open the doors.
Take a look here. 7's not gonna do it. Oh no, 15. Okay. So they make a little bit of progress. Eventually, the officers inside see what you're doing, and start to help out. They start pulling at this door.
Captain help too.
Absolutely. You don't even have to roll for that. With all of you helping, it doesn't take you too terribly long to get it open enough that a person can go in and out pretty easily, just single file. And the captain is crumpled in the middle of the bridge.
Sparky's gonna tap one of the guards on the shoulder and ask if they've got handcuffs or similar.
The private does. He pulls some off of his belt and hands them to you.
And Sparky will go tie up the captain.
Fantastic. The first officer, who we're gonna call Perkins. So Commander Perkins comes up to you and says, "Hi, I guess I'm the commanding officer now. I'm really sorry that we crashed onto your planet and brought this horrible illness. Planetfall was never supposed to be an option with this scenario."
We're not really worried about responsibility right now. It's more about fixing the thing that's trying to kill all of us.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out how to do that in here for quite a bit. With the hull breached, we're at a bit of a loss, but somebody in medical might be able to help out, but we've been unable to reach them.
Yeah, I look mighty misty in there. A quick question for you. Early signs, how can we, like, do we have any identifying signs before shit starts to get bad?
Fatal?
I'm not a doctor, but I do know a little bit. They told us some things to look out for. Um, uh, Bloody noses, like an unusual amount of them. Sort of a metallic taste in the back of the mouth. Headache, some disorientation. That sort of thing. They said if that happens, to go to the med bay immediately. It's just what they told us, and to seal off the area.
We
Quinn.
probably also should get some masks for them too, or something. Since they're now cooperating.
Yeah, they're rapidly. The other officers that were there, mostly lieutenants who are like piloting and navigating and that sort of thing. A couple of like lieutenant commanders. They're all grabbing the spacesuits at this point, and quickly trying to get them on. One of them's put it on backwards and is trying desperately to get it off again and put it on the correct way.
Do you?
They don't
have. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. They don't seem to be like the battle hardened officers you would expect, which is a little odd. What were you gonna say?
Do you have somewhere I can access the files on this thing? I know it's like fucking super secret, but I am a medic. I may be able to help with if I can get access to them, maybe I'm able to help them in there.
Yeah, I can help you with that. You'll have to access that from medical, but I can give you the access codes to get in there and to access those computers. We are the loyalist faction here, but at some point that has to be put on hold to protect people's lives. So,
Other question. The front half of the ship fell off. Is there anyone in it? And was there any of this stuff in it?
You are
Was
currently
it just dented?
There's large gaps in the hull. It's not like completely broken off, but the front part of the ship is where you are now, actually.
Sorry. Then
Can we get
replace that with
engineers out to
Back,
fix
yeah.
that? Just patch jobs to keep shit as in as possible.
Potentially in time, it's a little more than a patch job. That would be required. Like you would
just
just
an
know that.
interjection.
Mhm.
I've got the brain bees, so apparently I'm acting as the comic relief today. But when you were going through the symptoms, I just pictured people in the back, oh yeah, bloody nose, and then people just start sniffling, and then taste on your tongue, and people just sticking out their tongues, oh my god, am I tasting metal?
Which is funny because everybody's tasting that because it's in the air. So you would just be able to look at the damage that you passed coming in and know that it's gonna be more than just a patch job. There's gonna have to be some way to neutralize the contamination, or some way to seal it up inside the ship that doesn't involve sealing the outer hull. And then Quinn, sorry, you had a question or a comment, I thought.
Oh, I was just saying, replace me saying front of the ship with back of the ship.
Oh, right.
And just clarifying, is there anyone in it? And was there any of this stuff in the back that we should worry about?
Yeah, Commander Perkins kind of gets really somber for a moment. It's we had, I'm going to assume had, quite a few personnel on the ship, mostly in the back, but from the sounds of it, it sounds like this contaminant has gotten everywhere, so there's a good chance there's not a lot of them left.
We haven't been able to check the barracks yet, but we made sure to redirect it to the mess hall where we already knew there wasn't people in there, so...
That's good. That's good. Yep, that can hold quite a bit of volume, so that should buy us some time, I guess.
The
Which is
pipes
good.
weren't going to hold very long, though.
That's a problem. Yeah, I think the best plan is to talk to somebody in medical and see what our options are. I will keep working on things from here. And he gives you a comm frequency. It says, contact me here if you run into any problems. I can redirect ventilation, open doors, whatever you need from here.
I'm obviously going to med. Do we want to like have some people spread out, try to assess the extent of the damage, maybe look for anyone? And I don't know if anyone wants to come with me to med, but
I'll go.
it might be higher risk of, in there.
We're kind of in a brain mist soup. I'm not really worried about risk at this point. I mean, I'm worried. But like the whole ship's, I'm good.
I can take a look around the rest of the ship to see if there's anyone else.
Annie, you want to
Sorry, go ahead.
just checking where Annie wanted to go?
I mean, she's a dramatic bitch. She's not going to miss out on all the fun, right? She's going to go with you guys.
All right. Well, as you're deciding who's going where, you glance over and you can see the navigator on the bridge. Some blood is just starting to trickle out of his nose. And you can sort of see the pilot point to it, and he, dabs his nose with his fingers and looks at it and looks terrified. And the commander looks at you all and says, perhaps sooner's better than later, probably, to get this going.
Yep. Yeah, then Sparky will look to Lev to lead the way.
Yeah, Lev just like literally jogs off.
All right, so Lev and Sparky and Annie are going to the medbay. Is Captain going?
I'm going to check the rest of the ship.
Okay. Let's take a moment there to hop over to your ship with Billy. Billy, you haven't heard from anybody in a while. What do you want to do?
Well, she's laying in a hazmat suit on her bed, throwing a ball at the ceiling, waiting to hear back with the open comms. Because Captain ordered her to go to her room and stay there until she heard something.
All right.
There's no comms in or out of the ship.
Nope. So after about 30 minutes of them being gone, there's a tap 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 on your door. I think you muted.
She gets up to go and open it, expecting it to probably be Daisy, and is kind of on edge.
You would be correct. Daisy's standing there in this slightly oversized spacesuit that's been painted with like flowers and things.
Both of them are in slightly oversized paints.
Yep. So Daisy just looks up at you and has the facial expression of, an anime character tapping their index fingers together. It's like, I'm kind of bored and really worried about everyone. How are you doing in here?
Really bored and really worried because there's probably a biological hazmat, given how insistent the captain was we put on spacesuits.
Yeah, I kind of had that feeling too. So I know Cap told us to stay in our rooms, but we haven't heard from them in a while, and I figure if we're on a spaceship, I mean, that's sealed up pretty good. We should be fine, right?
And I've already checked the specs on these space suits and stuff. The filtration system isn't going to let anything in.
That's what I was saying. So, like, we could probably figure out some way to help, right? Like, we can fly the ship over there, so we're like nearby.
Maybe we should ask the captain first before doing that.
I haven't been able to get the captain. I'll try again, and she pushes a thing on her little gauntlet type tablet thing on the suit. It's like, Captain, is everything okay? Could use a situation report. And because it doesn't go through the ship's hull, the loyalist ship, there's no response.
Okay, okay, but this was your idea. This was your idea.
Even if it wasn't my idea, they would assume it's my idea. It's okay.
Okay, but I'm not getting in trouble for this.
I will take full responsibility.
Okay. Better.
All right, so
You know how to fly a spaceship.
I've done some simulations. I only crashed like twice.
No, it's not. That's actually a pretty good log roll.
Yeah, I mean there was like significant damage like half of the time, but everybody lived.
I mean, I have wrecked enough tunnel speeders.
I'm sure it'll be fine. These things practically fly themselves, right?
Yeah.
And she just starts walking towards the bridge.
Billy's just like, oh no, what have I gotten into? But also is trying to think of things that they used in the mines for dealing with like weird pathogens or like poisons in the air.
Nice.
She's like just thinking at the same time as she's following Daisy up to the bridge.
Yeah, it takes a little bit for her to get there. It's not so much a walking towards the bridge as it's sort of a awkward waddle in this oversized spacesuit. But she gets there, and let's see how well she pilots.
Billy might grumble a little bit. Oh God, there's a one.
Raven, you have advantages.
I do. I have conflict now because that's hilarious. But I do have advantages.
Captain is going to give the biggest lecture.
Let me get my character sheet and see if I could possibly help her not crash. That's right into the ground. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm gonna roll pilot. It's being difficult.
Just imagine instead of going up, it just goes further into the ground immediately.
Oh, we get an advantage.
Oh.
Who's that for there, Goody?
I'm gonna give it to Billy.
Good plan.
Gonna need it.
Wait, roll 20 is being slow.
All right. Yeah, it's being very slow. Sorry, I'm just trying to move things around, and even scrolling down the page is slow.
Oh, weird. I can pull up your character sheet and try it from my end if you want. Oh, there it goes. 13. Would you like to use that advantage?
Do I have an advantage?
Goody just gave you one, yeah.
Oh boy. Can I use the advantage and throw in my mining equipment?
Not really the mining equipment, but you can definitely use the advantage.
Okay,
Hey,
that's better.
23. All right, cool.
I kind of get the imagine Billy all of a sudden noticing what Daisy's doing and just like, no!
Yeah, it's kind of like the equivalent of trying to start up a car while it's in first, without having your foot on the brake, is what she was about to do.
Oh, there was some crunching going on.
Yeah, had you not jumped in, the ship would have like lurched forward and probably crashed into something. But you're like, no. You're able to stop her and get the startup sequence put in correctly, and take off. And I assume you kind of want to like hover right around the crash ship.
You know, not too close, but not too far away.
Perfect. Yeah. You managed to kind of get hovering reasonably close, and still unable to get the comms on. Sorry, our chat. There's just one kid on brakes and gas, one kid on steering wheel. That's kind of what this is like. Yep. Yeah, you're still not able to get a signal through. Is there any ideas that Billy has on that?
For getting a signal through?
Mm-hmm.
Does the ship have any drones?
It does not, but it
Get drones.
it probably does have like signal buoys.
Great, she's gonna go and send a signal buoy in through one of the hull breaches.
All right. They're designed for space, not atmosphere, and they're not so much aimable on their own. So you can try to do that, but it will be with disadvantage.
I'm just gonna put this out there. Rip is near the ship.
Yes, he's on the shuttle.
So I was imagining we like lasso throw one of the buoys down.
Great.
Which also Rip would be.
Wait. If they can see the shuttle, then Billy's gonna try and contact the shuttle.
Okay. Rip's on the other end. It's like, hi.
Hi. Can you put a signal buoy inside the big ship so we can talk to people again?
Well, I don't have any on the shuttle.
Nope, but you're about to get one, and she drops. She lets one drop down from the ship. Hopefully, to someplace soft.
Oh my god. Yeah, hold on.
Can we roll for it to just nail Rip in the head?
That's what I'm rolling for.
No. She's not. She's the only one who actually likes Rip.
Local stray demolished by falling debris.
Timing just so happens that he's flying the shuttle right under you right as you drop that, and it lands on top of the shuttle. You can hear the bang coming through the comms, and Rip just, you're like, God damn it, what the...
I told you, signal buoy. Can you put it inside?
Probably. You didn't have to drop it on the shuttle. That could have damaged something.
No. Honestly, it would be more likely to damage the buoy than the shuttle. The shuttle's hull is pretty well reinforced.
You just hear grumbling on the other end, but you can see the shuttle going down to where the giant crack in the hull is. And
Thank you, Rip.
as soon as he parks the shuttle next to that crack, the line of sight signal seems to start working, even before he gets it into the ship. And there's a very staticky comm line available now.
Captain? Are you there?
Can I hear that? Can I hear her?
You can, yes. It's very staticky, but you can hear Billy.
Billy?
Hi. This was Daisy's idea, but I think we found a way to get the comm line working again.
What was Daisy's idea? What did you do?
It was her idea to move the ship.
Over like hearing somebody else in the room yelling at the phone. You know, when somebody else is on it, you just hear, "We didn't crash the ship."
We didn't crash the ship.
Good.
The ship's
Um,
fine.
The ship's fine, and we're using one of the signal buoys to talk to you inside the ship because no communication is getting out of that ship.
That's because the ship isn't supposed to exist. Nobody is supposed to be able to communicate, but putting a signal buoy is helpful.
So, how bad of a biological pathogen are you looking at, or is it non-biological? Because non-biological is way easier to deal with than a biological pathogen.
It's biological and it explodes people's brains.
Cool. So we're just gonna park the vehicle, the ship, and just let us know what you need.
Certainly. If you have a way to contact the miners on the planet, please inform them to not come anywhere near.
And probably inform. Is there any symptoms that we should be providing them to watch out for? Is there anything about like what can be done to remove the pathogen from the air? Is it bloodborne? Is it?
It is aerosol. As for any kind of antidote, we are seeking that at this time. The only symptoms they were able to tell us was a bloody nose and a metallic taste in the mouth and a headache. And the bloody nose will apparently be out of nowhere. And then very quickly after, their brains will essentially attempt to evacuate their bodies.
Right. Okay. I will attempt. Daisy and I will get in touch with the miners, and see what we can. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Bye.
Thank you.
Billy, you can see Daisy, like, her face has gone pretty white.
Yeah. Billy's face is paler than it usually is. It's like which is difficult because she's fairly dark skinned to start with, and even she kind of looks like there's a blade exploding virus. What the fuck?
Yeah, Daisy's like, yeah, it's mind blowing. Oh, that was probably too soon. I'm sorry, I make really bad jokes when I'm nervous.
No, I was gonna say it sounds like a killer migraine.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us friends.
Okay. That's kind of a weird thing to point out. Okay.
And Billy is immediately trying to like raise up the miners again.
Yeah, you're able to get through. You get Sonia.
Hi, Sonia. So don't send anybody to the ship.
Okay.
In fact, if anybody starts having a sudden nosebleed, you want to quarantine them away from people with pathological scrubbers in whatever place you put them.
Why?
Brain exploding virus.
I'm sorry, what?
They had on their ship some sort of virus that causes your brain to explode.
Right. Great.
So recommending you have nobody go near the place. The symptoms they have so far are sudden nosebleed, headache, taste of copper in the mouth. Apparently, the brain will start to explode and aerosolize, causing a spread of the pathogen when it soon after the nosebleed. And like, she might be looking to Daisy to make sure she hasn't forgotten anything.
Yeah, that covers everything, I think.
So, you're gonna wanna put out a warning through your population, and also have people go nowhere near the ship, unless they're in full hazmat.
You can tell that Sonia is understanding what you're saying. And then there's just this long, just exhausted sigh. This is not my best day ever. Why does shit like this keep happening on this planet? Does this happen on other planets? No, just mine.
Does it happen on other planets? I don't know.
I
this
don't.
is the first. This is the first planet I've been on for any length of time.
Oh, yeah, I don't really know either. It's been a long few months. I'm gonna go take care of that. Good luck with the saving everybody's lives part.
I'm sitting on a ship in a hazmat suit doing nothing. So thank Captain.
Okay, pass that along then. I guess. Keep me informed, and then the line cuts off. And Daisy just kind of gives you 2 thumbs up, like, that went well, right?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Hey, we have that in common now.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. She leaves to go and get herself some coffee.
And Daisy's just sort of sitting on the bridge like, okay, right. On the bridge alone and in a spacesuit because there's a deadly virus that could explode my brain outside. Right, this is fine. This is totally fine. We've been in nothing like this before. Oh fuck. And with that, I think that's a good spot to take a break. So we're going to go on break. We'll be back in 15 minutes, and we'll see how the rest of the crew's doing on the, horror movie ship. So we'll be right back. And we are back. So when we left off last, before the break, Daisy was feeling awkward on the bridge of your ship. You have communication with Billy now, who's going to get some coffee, and Lev, Sparky, and Annie are heading to the med bay, and Captain is exploring more of the ship. So, Captain, what part of the ship did you want to explore? Like, what direction did you want to go?
The opposite direction?
Okay. Doing a mental image of the layout of the ship in my head here. So if they're heading to medical, which if the bridge is north, medical is southeast. And the bridge is pretty much the furthest north on the ship that you can go. So you could go southwest.
Sounds good to me.
Which is not terribly out of the way of how you came here in the first place. But there's definitely some other quarters that you can go down.
Okay.
Let me roll a die. Odds. So yeah, you find the armory first.
Okay.
There is a locked door, sort of a red flashing light in front of it, just sort of signaling, like a red alert type deal, an emergency. The door is closed tight, but there's nobody in front of the door. This seems like the place where there should have been a guard.
But there's no one there?
There's no one there. It's just a door that says armory, and it is sealed shut.
Well, I mean, I doubt there's really anybody in the armory, unless the guard went into it, but that seems like an odd choice. I'll keep walking.
Okay. As you keep walking and get further towards the back end of the ship, you pass the gap in the outer hull. You can probably see the signal buoy on top of the shuttle through that gap. And if you keep going beyond that, you come across the barracks, which is also sealed shut.
I muted myself. Okay, I'm going to try to open the barracks.
All right. What method would you like to use to try to open it? There is a computer panel next to the door that you could potentially hack. There's a maintenance panel next to the door where you could try some manual override options, or you can just try to force it open, or any other idea that you have. But those are the three obvious options.
Can I ask, is it PD?
Yeah.
Can I ask PD for the override code?
Yeah, you can. I was trying to think, would PD have gone with you? I think PD would have stayed on the bridge, but you can calm up to him to give you the code,
Okay.
which he's willing to do. So you're able to punch that in, and that overrides the lock on it, and the door opens, and you can see there's probably 100 or more people in here, that are all sitting on beds, or foot lockers. And kind of in a little bit of an unnerving way, they all look at you at the same time, and look confused because you're not part of their crew. But one of the ones that's closest to you, she asks, "What's going on? They sealed us in the barracks. I think they closed off the ventilation too. Like, we're on emergency life support."
Can Captain reseal the door
Yes, you can.
behind her? Like, can I enter the room and then seal it?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. The door seals shut again. And yeah, they all look really confused. Like, we haven't heard anything. We felt an impact. There were some alarms. I saw a couple of doctors running around looking really panicked, and then they quarantined us in here and put us on a like auxiliary life support. And that's the last we heard.
Okay. I am the captain of another ship. I am not your enemy in any way. However, yes, there was an impact. You have crashed your planet side.
They kind of look at you a bit suspiciously. The lady that was talking to you and a couple of the other crew around her go, captain of another ship. We were being chased by another ship.
Yes, we shot them down.
Right, so you're not with the NFA faction?
No,
Who are you with?
nobody.
Everybody's with somebody.
Then we are with ourselves.
You're gonna need a speech roll or charm roll, whichever you'd prefer. Or I suppose you could try to daunt, though that would be much more difficult in this situation.
Yeah, I don't think daunt is the way to go at this point in time.
But on the surface of it, they're not buying it, so you're gonna have to do a little persuasion.
That's fair. We need some finesse. We'll go speech. Oh God.
Oh no.
I glitched.
Oh.
Like a fucking blade comes out of her arm.
We are by ourselves. Shing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's a great idea, actually. Yeah, you're maybe cutting through the bridge bunker doors caused a little short in your arm blade or something like that, but it just comes flying out and looks intimidating. And there are about a dozen crewmen and women who just quickly move away from you and grab sidearms out of footlockers and point them at you. It's a horror movie for them too now. Yes, it is.
Right. She just climbs up the wall. No. Captain slowly puts the arm blade away. I apologize. I seem to have had a short. If you haven't figured out now, I am an android. I am not a human. However,
Figured that much out. What's with the arm blade, and why won't you tell us like who you're with? What's your ship? What's your affiliations?
I work with a group of mercenaries. We are not affiliated with anyone. We follow whoever pays us the most. Is that the answer you seek?
Yes, closer to the answer we were looking for. Who's currently paying you more?
No one. We are not on a job.
Then why are you here?
Because we have befriended the miners who work here.
Don't have any miners on the ship.
The planet. They work on the planet.
And now one of them chimes in and goes, "Oh, there's a planet now."
I told you, you have crashed. You are planet side.
They don't seem to be buying the story very well, and they are getting ready to arrest you.
Oh,
Or
honey,
try
no.
to. I mean, to be fair, there's over 100 people in this very large room. I think they might be able to accomplish it.
Can they reach the ceiling? Because I can go on the ceiling. Can they? No.
Their bullets can. Would you like to do something here to get assistance with your situation?
What, you like calm the bridge?
I'll calm the bridge
Bingo.
and be like, what?
I said bingo. I was whispering to
Yeah.
Hannah.
Calm the bridge and say, will somebody make these soldiers calm down? They do not seem to be believing me that they have crashed and are at risk of being exposed to a very deadly pathogen because they will not listen to me.
Commander Perkins comes online because stand down, soldiers. They're with us. It's an emergency situation. Sorry, we haven't gotten you into the loop yet. But basically, we just need everybody to stay put. If you're in a secured quarantine area, there is a medical threat on the ship. But we do have local help that is assisting, and yes, we are on the ground. And then everybody slowly puts their sidearms down and goes, "Oh, okay. Sorry, we're on a very top secret mission with this ship, and we were being chased by the other guys, so we're a little on edge."
Yes, do you know what that top secret mission was?
Well, it's neat to know. So I don't personally know it. And she just sort of calls down line. Anybody know what we're actually up to? And there's just murmuring, and various conversations. The general consensus is something top secret. It involves doctors.
This is the worst run Black Ops ships I've ever seen.
Right.
It was so compartmentalized that literally there's only a handful of people who really know what's going on the ship.
That's
Right.
like bureaucracy.
Goodness, our crew is better at Black Ops than these guys.
I mean, to be fair, only a handful of them really needed to know what was actually happening on the ship while it was in the space.
So unfortunately for all of you, I know more about what you are carrying than you do. And at this moment, that thing you are carrying is threatening your lives. Now, the reason you have been shut in here with vents closed and on emergency life support is because you were oh my god. Anyway. Anyway.
That was exciting.
Yeah. It's 35 miles per hour outside on that road, but whatever. And at this point, there is a airborne toxin loose on the ship.
One of the guys that was closest to the door when you open it raises a hand.
Yes.
How airborne? Because didn't you just open the door?
And then closed it after I stepped in, yes.
He just starts inching away from you.
Oh, I'm incapable of carrying the toxin.
Yeah, but some of that air you let in might have had some in it.
True, but we are farther from where the break was. Most of the damage seems to have happened around the mess hall.
You just hear like some murmuring back and forth between people, like, "Oh, I feel so much better now." There's only a little deadly plague, in the room, not a lot.
Would you like to remain in here uninformed and locked in the door?
I mean, no, but also we don't want to die.
Trust me, none of my crewmates wanted to die either, and neither did the cowardly captain that tried to lock himself in your bridge and let the rest of you die.
Oh, he was kind of a prick.
Well, now
tracks.
he's a handcuffed prick. I don't know what that word means.
There's like one like cadet way down the line who just yells up to the front, "It means penis!"
Understood.
And you can see one of the higher ranking people just punch him in the arm, be like, "Shut up." Well, thanks.
To be fair, I would rather somebody tell me what the word means before I repeat it in an inappropriate scenario.
Yeah, that seems fair, I guess. But a little more pressing matters. What do we do in the meantime? We're all just sort of stuck here.
Do you have any form of hazmat available to you within your...
Not in this room, no.
Are there any on this ship? We found a few, but
I mean, there's some by the air vents, but generally we don't need them inside the ship. They're mostly there for outside repairs and to, if we need them to get to a shuttle, but they're mostly by the airlocks, so probably not enough for everybody in here. Because we have shuttles and escape pods that we would normally use in a situation where we would need something like that.
right. Well, at this point, we have the ship sealed off from the planet. So, honestly, your best bet would probably just to remain in here.
All right. Well, I guess thanks for letting us know what's going on, and just let us know what we can do.
Before I go, you should know that there are symptoms.
Okay. What do we need to look for?
Bloody noses. Like sudden, odd bloody noses.
Immediately there's like 5 people that turn and look at one kind of skinny looking guy, who's seeming to be pretty scared now. It's like, I get bloody noses all the time. Am I gonna die?
You have bloody noses just symptomatically, like from a dry orifice.
My nose? Yeah? Am I gonna die?
Eventually, yes, but at this point, I don't.
Like, everybody is moving away from this poor kid, who is now even more terrified.
Do you taste anything metallic in your mouth at this current time?
No.
Do you have a bloody nose at this current time?
He reaches up and like sticks his finger in his nose just a
Don't
little bit.
put your finger in your nose.
And sure enough, though, it comes out a little bloody. He's like, "Oh God, I've got a bloody nose." People are moving further and further away from this poor kid.
Unless it is streaming from your face like the others we have seen, I don't think it is a problem. Don't stick your finger in your nose. That causes bloody noses.
Yeah, I've heard that. I just was trying to check to see if it was bloody.
You could have just touched outside of your nostril. Anyway,
This
I
kid.
do not believe you have this illness.
Are you sure?
It's not streaming out of your face, and nothing else has correlated. Do you have a headache?
I kind of do now.
Well, then I wouldn't worry about it because you're obviously thinking too much about it.
I
Humans do that.
Yeah, my therapist says I do overthink things a lot. And this poor kid can't be like a day over 18.
You should be fine. And she kind of says over her shoulder to everyone else in the room, he's fine.
Yeah, nobody's going near him still.
But if anybody starts profusely bleeding from their face, gets a metallic taste in their mouth, or has a very painful headache, quarantine them in some way.
They just sort of nod in acknowledgement and thank you for letting them know what's going on, and they're just staying put.
All right. Use your comms to contact your commander if you need to at any point. We'll let you know if there's anything else.
All right.
Is there anywhere
be
else
here.
on the ship I should be aware of? Because the breach in the hull is what caused the thing to unleash.
There's one of the people there hands you basically a map. It's like a layout, part of the orientation material for new transfers. That actually has like the different rooms and everything labeled so that you can get around the ship.
Fantastic. That will be helpful. At one point, I saw the armory. Is there supposed to be anyone there, or?
Yeah, there's supposed to be at least one guard there at all times.
In case of an emergency, would they put themselves inside the armory?
And I guess it's possible they might have.
Hmm. All right, well, again, contact your commander if you are in need of anything, but until then, please just stay put.
Yeah. All right.
And then I guess Captain would very quickly open the door, move out, and close it again.
Okay. With that, we'll head over to Lev and Sparky and Annie. Making your way to the med lab. Pretty uneventful trip to get there. And then when you get there, there's some more slightly muffled screaming coming from inside the med lab. And you get up to the glass door that's still sealed. What would you like to do?
Lev is literally going to do the like knock, doot.
And there's just this loud like glass rattling, very slow thump, thump that comes from somewhere deeper in the med bay labs.
Well, that's reassuring.
At least they can still knock.
Is there like a comm station on the outside of the door anywhere?
Yeah, you can. There's a little thing where you can talk to somebody that's inside.
I was gonna like push it like, yellow, anyone alive in there?
After a short pause, there's a sort of voice on the other end. It's mostly just gurgling sounds, and then it goes quiet.
It's probably really bad in there.
Probably.
Do you want to do the honors?
Are you guys coming in, or do you want to stay out here?
I mean, I don't know what use I'll be out here, other than like worrying from afar.
Valid.
Annie, you good?
Lev, how do you feeling? Do you think you're gonna need an extra pair of hands? I mean, Sparky can stand guard, I guess.
I just think it's very likely that our risk of infection is going to get real high in there, so I don't want anyone coming in that's not ready for that.
I mean,
I feel like we face worse.
yeah, in a way. Usually our adversaries are a little more visible, but you know.
Well, yeah, but usually they want to kill us like right away. And
That
like
is
this
also
time,
valid.
What's
What kind
gonna
of crew
kill
have I
us?
gotten involved in? Liz gonna push the comm button and be like, okay, we're coming in now.
Yeah, Annie's gonna go in.
Cover up if you're naked.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody decent? Knock knock. Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Are we gonna like get access codes so that we can real quickly jump in?
Okay. Sorry. And then my eye.
Oh, she.
Yeah, you call up to Perkins. He gives you the codes, and you're able to open the door. Which, there's just tons of that smoke fog type vapor that just pours out of the door. And you can see inside a little bit better. There's definitely some folks in like white lab coats that are face down on the ground, are not moving.
Yeah, Love's going in with like in military stance.
Okay.
Annie, I don't know if it's more so to lighten the mood or because she doesn't know what else to say, but she just very quietly whispers, "Someone went a little too hard on the ice machine, it seems. On the fog machine."
Oh my
Sparky lets out like the most nervous, quiet laughter. Just
Annie's just like, "Thank you. I'll be here all week." She goes in.
Anyone still alive in here?
You don't hear anything close, but from what you can tell from where the sound's coming from, the med bay seems to be like massive. So it sounds like it's coming from a long distance away towards the back of the area. You can hear like some tapping, like somebody tapping on a wall or a window or something like that, to signal that they are there.
I'm gonna assume the guys on the ground are dead, but if you guys want to check, you can. And Love just like does the careful military walk towards the sound.
okay. Yeah, Sparky will start checking bodies on the ground.
Could I get a medicine check for?
Can't really get a pulse through a vac suit, but you know. I'm not terrible at that.
Yeah, they are
A little nudge with your boot. It's fine.
they are very dead.
Hey, you're late. You had shift an hour ago.
Your 5 more minutes, Mom, turned into something quite different.
Yeah. 5 more minutes turned
Also, we
into
should probably close the door
eternity.
behind us.
Yes.
I'm gonna assume we close the door behind
Yeah,
us.
I'll close the doors behind us.
I assumed you were as well. Yeah, they are very dead.
If there's a way to like make a path as we're checking them, just a path that we know we can like skedoot out.
Make a path through dead bodies.
Yeah, just roll this guy onto that person, and
It's
not
just
path of
a
bodies.
trail of breadcrumbs, but instead
It's
of
a-
breadcrumbs, it's bodies.
Why are we
It's a lovely
following the
garden
bodies
path.
and making a garden path through the bodies?
Oh, I'm just imagining this happening like a montage scene, but the music in the background is just let the bodies hit the floor.
Oh my god! And every time we get
They
to the
already did.
floorboard, somebody drops.
It
Yeah.
God.
alternates to It's
So I
Raining
need a,
Men.
I need a
Yeah.
combination now of the Benny Hill song and Bodies Hit the Floor
Oh
and
my
act
God.
together.
I might have to see if that exists on the internet.
Well, that's got to exist.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But yeah, you can essentially give yourself a breadcrumb trail with dead bodies.
Like literally just enough that we don't have to step over
And
anyone.
you
if we
all
have to make it quick.
protested when I
Yes.
made a corpse cannon.
This is different. We're not launching them. We did not
Picture Annie, like,
weaponize
saluting the bodies.
corpses.
Just saluting the bodies like, the galaxy thanks you for your service.
Oh my god. And Sparky is literally just like, arms under, roll them over. Next one.
My God. I feel like there needs to be somebody there be like, Annie, too soon.
Anarchy.
Also, the whole galaxy doesn't support them. We're against these people, remember?
When I get within like a decent distance of the tapping, is it Morse?
It's not. It's just. It's not continuous. It was just
Okay.
in response to your question, like, is anybody alive? And
Perfect.
you hear tap, tap, tap.
All right.
So since you're moving through first, could I get a let's see, you're in a spacesuit, so your best sense for that is probably gonna be sight. Get a sight roll.
I have eyes.
29. As you move through, the fog seems trying to think
Is
of
it
how to put it.
Similar to the fog we passed through earlier, that was the coolant stuff, or different?
It's very similar. There's definitely some of that substance in the fog, but it feels more viscous, almost like a solid, but it's not quite a solid. So as you move through it, like, it takes a second for more fog to kind of fill in that spot that you just pushed out of the way. Oh god. Yes, in our Zoom chat, Can just said brain soup, kind of like that. It's definitely disturbing, but you're able to move through, and you kind of get a feel for your surroundings a little bit better by feeling the walls and moving fog out of the way to see. And you can tell that this med bay has a series of chambers that are some of those chambers are like exam rooms. A lot of them are like little mini labs, so they've got like a microscope and testing equipment and things like that. And there's just dozens of them. And then there's a hallway that goes down the middle to where you can access all the different rooms, but they're independently sealed from one another, so it's very compartmentalized.
Good.
Yeah, and there are definitely several bodies in that hallway. Do you want to go room by room? Do you want to go down the hallway? Where would you like
I'm
to
looking for
proceed?
where I heard the. Like, is that just generally down there?
Yeah, it was in that direction. It's a little hard to tell where from
Now
just
that
the
they're
one.
not. Okay. In that case, Marco.
And there's 2 taps to the cadence of Polo.
I like this person already. I haven't even met them.
And it sounds like it's coming from about 3/4 of the way down this hallway in one of those rooms.
Time to wade through some bodies, I guess. Lev will call back over our, I guess, our little like personal comms, like more bodies.
Okay.
Sparky will call out like, okay, and just keep moving.
Billy will ask over the comms, where are the new bodies?
That was local.
Okay. I was gonna say, we don't know. Billy can talk to us.
My bad. Sorry.
Good.
We would have heard Billy and like Captain talking earlier, though, wouldn't we?
Depends if it was a direct comm or like.
That's true.
call.
Yeah. So
It
yeah, it's
was-
a good question.
It was more to whoever she could contact inside the ship. Hopefully, Captain.
Just for retcon reasons, let's assume it was the captain.
All right. Lev's gonna keep going. I gotta find an alive person. And then when I get like about where I thought I heard it, I'll just call out again, Marco.
And yeah, you hear a tap tap to the rhythm of Polo. As you get about halfway down the hallway, yeah, about halfway down, as you're passing one window, there is a bloody hand that just slaps against the glass and sort of slides down. There's definitely somebody in that one, but it's not far enough.
You too.
It's not far enough down to be, the one that's tapping.
Given the blood, I'm going to assume that they are not doing okay in there.
Sorry, say that one more time.
I said, given the blood, I'm going to assume they're not doing so hot in there.
Yeah, probably not. But they do seem to be alive.
We got a live one.
Okay, good, coming. And you hear like kind of muttered cursing as Sparky starts like hopscotching over the bodies they haven't moved yet.
They're not looking super hot, but I don't know if we probably should check on them, I guess. I'm still looking for my mystery person.
I never want to hear a medic go, I mean, we should probably check on them. Okay, yeah, is there like, this was a separate room, you said, right?
Yep, they're all individually sealed, very compartmentalized.
Okay. Yeah, if I can open the door, I guess I will.
Okay.
I'm
I'm gonna
let's-
brace myself to push someone off me in case they are trying to like claw at the back seat.
I just
Okay.
Before you do that, and Lev just like knocks on the glass where the hand came up.
Okay. The hand comes back up and it's in a fist now, and it just like pounds on the glass so hard that the inside layer cracks. It doesn't go all the way through to the outside layer, but the inside layer cracks.
Blood mists makes you super strong. Side effects may include death. Yeah, Sparky will just yell like, I'm coming in.
Okay.
And then whip, open the door.
Before
Get on
you
the floor.
before you open the door, just
Yeah.
gut feeling check real quick.
Oh, good.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't know if I want to open this door, but I probably am supposed to help people.
Gut
My
feeling.
gut feeling is on vacation.
A 19. You do have an advantage if you want to
Can
use
I
it. Entirely
have
up
a
to you.
gut feeling?
You absolutely can. At the moment, Sparky's feeling like this is a pretty safe situation. Like
You'd be
For
fine.
fuck's
you'd
sake.
be fine. You're in a spacesuit.
Yeah.
Lev, you have a very bad feeling about this room.
Sorry, like, let's just go like put a hand on their shoulder and be like, maybe it's a bit late for them. I don't have a good feeling about this.
Did I not go in?
We don't know a lot yet. I'm gonna just find our person who's actually responding normally.
Okay. The door's jammed. Hang on. I'll try to get it open.
And Lev will keep moving down.
When you say that, that fist comes back up and they just start pounding on the door more violently.
Yeah, Sparky will just stall, I guess.
And they're not saying anything. There's just like sort of gurgles, but they're clearly not dead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I got a bad feeling though.
you do. Anybody that's in
Can
that
we look in there?
you can't. It's just filled with that fog, so it's hard to see.
More fog than was already in here.
Like the same amount. So it's just the visibility is very short, and they seem to be kind of crouched down at the bottom of the door or laying at the bottom of the door, and they're just reaching up and smacking on the window portion. Anybody that's in that room, so Sparky, Lev, or Annie, you can roll medicine to see if you might get a little more understanding of the situation.
That's my job.
Yeah. Oh no.
So like, I would like an advantage, everyone.
You,
I mean, if I can give you mine, I'm happy to do
yeah,
that.
you could absolutely do that.
What the? And it's still a 26 even with a critical fail. That's how much fucking medicine I have.
Yeah, go ahead and roll
I
again.
think it makes sense that Lev is like really.
There you go.
What's the word? Torn about like leaving this person to their fate. So
I've got like
Yeah.
some sort of oath, probably.
It's not the Hippocratic Oath, it's the Hippocratic Guideline.
I worked for Merck's.
43. That seems much more accurate for Lev's levels of medical knowledge. So you're looking through this room, and it starts to dawn on you, like, wait, all of these rooms are compartmentalized. Why would you need that many compartments to work on this? And you start to get the theory, like, what if they were working on different strains of this pathogen? Maybe the different rooms have different things in them that do different things. That might have different effects or what have you.
That's a really violent response we're getting from that room.
Mm-hmm. And you know that the pathogen affects the brain, so a variant or a mutation of it might cause different reactions.
Okay, I'm getting down to my Also, when we were passing through the main room, was there like a terminal or anything?
Like
An
a
entry
computer
room.
terminal?
Yeah. Where they would presumably have information about what the fuck they're doing.
Yes, yeah. The there's some computers up there. From what you've been told, like from Perkins, there's more like servers and archives in the back, which also have a terminal on them. So the direction you're heading has the servers, but there are terminals in the front section.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of oh, they might be doing different strange stuff in different rooms. Like, why else would they have all these rooms if they weren't experimenting with different?
Oh,
Whoever is in there might not have exactly what's out there.
do you think they installed like a clean room protocol on it? To get rid of something that's in a room.
Considering that the whole shit seems to be out of the bag, I would assume that any of their venting systems or purging systems are not going to be 100% operational. Otherwise, they would have done that.
Unless they died right away, or they had to abandon or something. I'll look through the thing. I'll see if there is a thing.
Yeah, actually, Andy and Sparky would be great to try and go hack something.
Yeah, I'll look through the door consoles and just see if there's a way to enact clean room protocol on it.
Okay.
If you get my drift.
Yeah. There does not appear to be anything on the doors themselves.
Okay.
Or the little comm panel next to each door.
Okay.
But if you'd like to go check the terminals in the front, Sparky and Annie, you both can roll computers to start going through that.
Yeah, I'm in for that if Annie is.
Sure thing.
I'll let you roll first, Annie. You're better at this than I am.
Okay, you said computers?
Mm-hmm.
And can I use Annie's holo card?
Yes.
Is there anything that she can plug that into?
Yeah, there definitely is.
Okay.
I guess I wonder if PD or one of the guards
41.
permission, whatever.
Yeah, you do have the codes to
Codes.
to access it, but there are definitely commands that require doctor's codes that you'll need to hack. So you said 41, was that it?
Yeah, so 36 plus my holo card, so 41.
Okay.
27.
Yeah, together you are able to access some of the logs and the safety procedures. It looks like there was supposed to be a clean the room type situation for this entire area for an outbreak like this, where there's been such a huge breach that malfunctioned because of the damage to the ship when they crashed.
Is it clean the room as in, disinfect the place, or is it clean the room as in kill everybody inside?
Kill it with fire, kind of clean the room.
Okay.
It would incinerate everything in the room.
Exactly what I was hoping for.
So yeah, the mechanism for that to happen exists, but the computer signal won't go to them.
Okay.
So there's something broken.
So is it more? It's more like mech stuff that's broken. Okay.
Yep.
Can I fiddle with the computer, either mechanically or technologically, to see if it will show me an error code? That kind of thing. Dig around in IT mode. Okay, show me what's wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely giving you an error code. It's just a string of letters and numbers.
Okay.
As someone who works IT as a job, I heard you say error code. I was like, oh God, I'm not at work.
I will raise the acting captain on the comms, and I will give him that code, and just say ask around, see if we know what this issue is. Might have a potential issue in the med bay.
Yeah, you can tell he's relaying the information to somebody, and then PD comes on the comms, oh yeah, that's that means that there's a signal loss, so it's losing data between where you're at and what the signal's trying to get to. That particular one means it's a complete disconnect, so your problem's probably hardware, not software.
Any ideas how to fix it, PD?
Well, you'd have to find where that cut in the line is. or whatever's impeding the signal, and then repair that, and then you should be good to go.
Cool.
Annie looks at Sparky and she's just like, I feel like that's going to take a lot more electrical tape than we have access to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Don't worry. Okay, thanks. And just keep all the comms. Yeah, I guess otherwise, let's see if there's any relevant information like Lev wanted.
Okay.
You know, if there's any data on the strains or any notes or anything.
There is. Some of it is.
I'd love a detailed map of just the med bay.
Yeah, so you do get some information. Some of it is corrupted. The good news is, thanks to your high rolls, you can tell it's corrupted at the access point, but the backups are probably still secure or
Intact.
intact. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word.
It's all good.
ADHD. Yeah, the backups are still intact, or should be.
Okay.
But yeah, you find towards the back of those compartments, so probably that room that you're hearing the tapping from.
The tapping, not the banging. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
not the violent one, just the responsive tapping. Is from the description. You kind of have to translate medicalese with it, but from the description, it sounds like it's probably the strain that is on the ship, like that people have been exposed to on the ship.
Okay.
There are several of those that are missing, so you have no idea what's in them. The one where the fist is sort of pounding on the glass is a different strain. It's off by like one number and one letter from the one that's on the whole ship. And there were some notes of the pathogen being more aggressive and triggering aggressive response in test subjects.
Cool.
It
Does it say they still die eventually?
It mentions that the test subjects were the word. I'm having a real hard time with my vocabulary today.
Like neutral.
Did they have an adverse reaction?
The test subjects who were affected were neutralized essentially. So like
Oh, good. So they don't have an idea.
A clinical word for we executed them essentially.
Euthanized.
Yes, that's the word. It doesn't specify what the test subjects were, if it was like animals, like a mice or something like that, or humans.
I feel like these people don't use mice.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining
okay.
like one of the doctors panically going into that room and someone else going, "Oh no, not that one!"
So you do find that. So Lev, you now have some information to work with there as far as what the compartments are.
So the room that I'm hearing the tapping from, that was where like backup servers were, you're saying?
It's almost to the backup servers. So there's like a server room at the end of the hallway, and then as you're facing the server room on the left, the very last room is the one that has the strain that's on the whole ship, and that's where you heard the tapping from.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head it there.
Okay. You get up to that door, and yeah, you can still hear some tapping. You can see like a hand with like probably like the equivalent of like a USB drive or something like that they just have in their hand that they're tapping the window with.
Liz gonna do like a little tap on the glass back.
They clearly understand that, and so they put just a palm on the window gently. But you're not hearing anybody talking or anything like that.
Hey, we're here to help.
The response seems to be kind of slow, but the palm on the window slowly turns into a thumbs up.
Okay. Is it safe to let me in there, or are you staying to keep yourself safe?
Um,
1 tap for me safe, 2 tap for you safe.
So 1 tap if it's to keep them safe, and 2 taps if it's to keep you safe. Is that right?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, they tap to indicate that it's to keep you safe, not other people safe, or not her
Okay.
safe rather.
I am in a spacer suit. Is that enough? 1 yes, 2 no.
They tap once.
Okay, can you let me in?
They tap twice,
Okay, I have to get in then.
and then they tap once.
Okay. All right. We have a live person with reason. You guys want to come back
Sparky
here
will
to...
just like thumbs up and then realize they can't be seen through the fog.
You want to come down to the servers? I found them.
Coming. And Sparky's gonna pull their gun out while backing away from the room with the really loud banging on the window, and just keep an eye on that as they retreat down the hall.
Okay.
Yeah, we might. I don't know if we want to like put some tape on that glass.
Yeah, I don't know that we brought any flex tape with us.
I think
That's
I have
a lot of
something on this in the
damage.
fucking
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Oh, that's great.
Is Annie coming with us?
Yeah, what is any of them?
Yeah, Annie's coming. She's just kicking around, break dancing in the fog. It's fine.
There's like gotta be pads on each of the doors, right?
There are.
Okay.
Um,
Love like points at this one, like, hey, I want in this one. I guess I have computers. I could do this myself.
either
Sure.
way, you essentially have the access code, so Sparky can give it to you, or
Yeah, I'll
they
just
or
give it to
Annie
Lev.
can just open it from the terminal. Either way.
Yeah, let's just open her up.
You're able to punch that override code in and open up the door, and a very femme-presenting person with like dark curly hair, sort of.
Don't do this to me, Raven. I'm a lesbian.
They don't exactly like faint onto you, but they do sort of fall against you. They're only like half supporting themselves up.
This is why I have big, strong arms.
Sparky definitely jumps back and like gun raised.
Oh yeah, Lev just like presumably my gun's on a strap, so Lev just puts it behind them and like catches this person.
Yeah. They you can, without needing a medical roll, you can clearly see that they are in shock. And they are disassociating pretty hard. But they're coming back around every so often to kind of move or respond to what you ask them.
Okay. Is it mistier out in the hallway or in the room?
With the door open, it kind of equalizes pretty quickly.
Okay. I'm just gonna bring them into the room, and if there's like a place I can set them down, presumably there's a bed, a doctor bed.
Yeah, there's like a couch in the front room where the terminals are.
Okay, yeah.
Like a waiting room couch sort of a thing. And yeah, she's still not saying anything. She's somewhat responsive, but not entirely.
Okay. I'd like to just like go through. I don't personally actually know how to deal with someone in shock, but Lev obviously would.
Yeah.
Like if I need to be like checking their eyes to see if they're responding with the little light thing or whatever.
Yeah. Lev absolutely does the correct medical things to make sure that they're not going to get any worse.
And like the whole time, just very gentle voice talking to me like, hey, it's going to be okay. I got you now. You're not alone. We're all good.
Their
I'm gonna help you.
their eyes still look a little panicked, but they're nodding, sort of rocking a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But they nod to you when you respond, when you tell them it's going to be okay. They don't seem to be able to communicate a whole lot more at this point.
I saw you had a little USB drive there. Little
They-
thumb drive.
They nod and hold it up to you,
Is it okay if we look at the stuff in that?
and they nod.
Okay. Y'all, like, pass it off.
Hand it down to Annie. She knows the tech side of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's have a look-see.
You're able to plug it into the computer, and you can see it's this person's notes on what they were working on, and you can quickly put 2 and 2 together and figure out this is the strain that's on the whole ship.
Mhm.
And you're able to find out that it has a it's been specifically designed to target the specific way that the android human android combo brains are created. But there is a 30% chance of infection in just your random human. And of that 30%, there's like 5% chance of give or take of someone being like asymptomatic and infected.
Annie is just reading this stuff out loud. She prefaces it by going in a very sing-songy voice. She's like, "Love, my love, you're gonna love this one." But yeah, she just reads it out, kind of standard, so that Lev knows what's up too.
Yeah.
Lev is of course going to respond with, you know just what to tell me.
There's like a 99% infection rate with the flash cloned brains.
Oof.
Sparky definitely has a brief panic moment when that's mentioned. Like, oh my god, does that mean me? Does that mean me?
Annie doesn't even have to look over. She's just like, take a breath, Sparky.
Right, I'm in a vac suit. Right, I'm in a vac suit. 30%. 30%'s not bad.
Lev is gonna, like, once the person seems the most stable I've seen her, gonna be like, can you write your name on my hand?
And she nods, and she's got like a Sharpie on her lab coat, and she pulls that out, and it's
Can I get you a number?
and it's one of those really cool Sharpies. It's like the clicky pen, so you don't have to take the cap off. Me too. They're just they're so nice. So she pulls that out and clicks it and writes Dr. dot and then puts say Carter.
Okay, Dr. Carter, thank you. Lev was like expecting like to draw it on with her fingers, but now she's like got fucking a name on her suit. So we've been to the bridge and we're working with your team. Do you know if there's anyone else in here who's still alive?
And she holds up her hand and kind of does the so gesture, like eh.
Yeah, that's valid. So this is a lot right now, and it's okay if you can't answer right away, but were you guys working on any kind of antidote to this particular strain?
And she nods and then points to herself.
You. Oh, we're talking about like an antibodies kind of situation?
I mentioned how much I hate doctors like this specifically.
What do you mean?
The only way to test an antibody is to infect myself. No, actually, there's hundreds of other ways to do it.
I assume she was chosen because she had a resistance to it.
She makes like a writing gesture.
Do we have any paper up or a pad? I guess I don't know.
I mean, Sparky will pull up like a notepad on their arm device. Like a sketch pad if there's one.
Yeah. She like
Cute.
grabs your arm and is surprisingly strong for like the state of shock and like her frame size. And starts typing or writing, however the program works, and says, just started on cure. I seem to be infected, but not dying. Possible cure.
Okay. Are there any open labs where we can do some? We can be like do science things. I don't know. Lev probably says smart stuff. Fuck.
Yeah, Lev is very articulate.
I don't know about that, but they do know what the fuck they're talking about.
She just sort of motions towards the labs that you just came from and kind of does a face, like I'm not so sure we want to use that, but that's what's available. It's kind of the gesture that she makes.
Do you have like a testing for people who are asymptomatic? Do you have like a testing procedure?
She points to Annie, like towards the computer that you're on, Annie.
Beauty, because the three of us need to fucking test ourselves.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Okay, can Annie look into the system and see if there are any like the programs, I guess, that she's looking for?
Yeah, as you keep going on that memory drive, yeah, there's a list of procedures for like the protein sequencer, whatever fancy medical term it is, to test blood samples and things like that. It kind of details how to test for that to see if somebody is infected. And then what was your other question, Hannah?
I'm gonna ask her if it's spread just through respiratory.
Yes, it's a it doesn't go through air, it goes through water, like liquid particles. But because of the way it's expelled, like the air in an area gets completely saturated with those particles very quickly, so it's effectively an aerosol, but it's not actually an aerosol.
Okay.
What?
It's
good.
I was gonna ask, like, just because I'm gonna have to obviously take like blood samples from the three of us, and so I want to a way to be able to access like an arm or something without risking further infection for someone.
Yeah, the suits would have some way to administer medication.
Perfect.
So there'd be a way to draw blood.
Just reverse the system. Turn it from inject to suck.
Kinda.
I just put a Uno reverse card on the.
Yeah.
Just tape it to the thing.
Yeah, that would work. You're able to safely get blood samples without infecting anything.
I am going to
Perfect.
ask the doctor.
Or contaminating, I guess.
If it is like waterborne, would we be able to dehumidify the ship? I know that's a big ask, but just like if we sucked all the moisture out.
Oh yeah, at this point, Lev's gonna be like, "Oh right, are you aware that it's in the ship?"
Just sort of motions all around her and like.
I mean, it's outside of the med bay too, though.
Also, you crashed.
Also, you're a planet side. That's why we're here, actually.
That's Sparky. She grabs your arm again and types out very slowly, Well, shit.
We've told everyone to stay away from the ship as best we can. It's just us that's come in. We put on suits as soon as we could, but we're just gonna test ourselves now to make sure that we're not, you know.
She nods in agreement. And isn't really able to get up exactly.
No, you stay sitting, it's okay.
But she points to the room that the lab that she was in, and kind of motions, like mimics some test tubes to sort of indicate that there's stuff to test it in there.
Beauty. I'm gonna go do that.
Let's
then.
get to it.
Okay.
I want to, if we're not using the labs, I want to close off this room that we're in from there, because I do not like that person was breaking glass.
Yeah.
And while I'm moving down to the labs, and they'll call me when I'm coming back, I want a weapon on that door.
Okay. You're able to get to the room that Dr. Carter was in, and there's a microscope there where you can basically plug the sample in and see if the pathogen's in the bloodstream or not. And yes. Could I get a medicine roll from you? And this is basically to determine the level of success. 44. Okay, so you get a lot of information. So immediately, even without having to test the skill, you can see that Sparky's and Annie's samples are clear of the pathogen. Yours, you can see that it is present, but it doesn't seem to be doing the things that would make you sick.
I mean, I have not experienced any sudden nosebleeds that I'm aware of.
No. So you can tell that your sample has that, but it is not attacking your system. It's just sort of there. Which with your 44, you would know that you are essentially asymptomatic, but you might also just be immune to it. So you and Dr. Carter might have something in common there. You're unsure if you can pass it to other people at this point, but you feel pretty confident that you're not going to die.
You really thought killing me would make me die. Perfect. Okay.
Oh my god, Quinn. A Capri Sun sanguine flavor, if you will.
I was just saying Lev isn't dead yet. Otherwise, that'd just be a blood juice bag in the suit. Anyway.
So yeah, you were also able to find out other technical medical things that are important with that information.
Time to make a cure, motherfuckers.
Yeah, the GM is not knowledgeable enough about how that scientific process works to detail those, but you know those details.
Oh, what is the fucking word I'm looking for? Shit. Like when you warn that you're not like... Oh. No, my brain's just dead. That's unhelpful. Thank you.
Let me know if you remember the context. Like, nope.
It's like kind of like saying like full disclosure, but like a warning.
Oh, like
Disclaimer?
Disclaimer. Thank
That's the
you.
word.
Disclaimer. We are not scientists. We are not genetic scientists.
God, if we were.
All right. I guess level combat, like level like comm that they're headed back then,
All right.
and then head back.
Okay.
And I guess I'll radio the captain to let him know what the hell's going on down here.
Okay, so we've got Annie and Sparky. You seem to be clear. I am not. However, as we have noticed, I'm not dying yet. So I would actually like to compare, Dr. Carter, if it's okay, compare our samples, see if something's going on similar between you and me, and then
And she seems to get very excited about that and nods sort of energetically. The still in shock and still like having a really hard time, but seems more hopeful, I guess, in her expression. Sorry, our Zoom chat is hilarious tonight.
It's popping tonight.
It
Quiz
really
just said,
is.
now that's a first date combo starter. You want to compare blood samples?
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah. Is there anything I can do to like probably help settle her, I guess? Or like is she just gonna, in my medical opinion, is she just gonna take a while to like need to?
Yeah, it seems to be definitely like a trauma related, not physical
Okay.
ailment at the moment. That's the problem. But she seems to be a little bit better now that she's not locked into that lab and she's around other people.
I guess it's if she's up to it, it's time to do some science shit.
Yeah. What do you have in mind?
Making a cure.
I
don't know how this works.
I think Lev would probably have the idea to figure out a way to decontaminate and then go to like Lev's sick bay.
That's smart.
Because this particular one is very
Super contaminated.
yeah, very very high risk here.
Okay.
But you can also grab like the hard drives off the servers.
Yeah, I want us to like sweep for all the information we can get, and then anything that Dr. Carter thinks she'll need that's like specialty equipment that wouldn't just be on a regular ship med bay. Because it's not like I outfitted this med. Well, I mean, I might have in the interim time, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Oh no, the previous doctor was on the old ship, so yeah. I was like, it was like unusually outfitted like super well, but I'm like, oh, but you're on a different ship now, so maybe not. Anyways, she's very shaky, but she's able to somewhat help you figure out where things are and what you're gonna need.
Is she in a suit? Should we get her in a suit?
She is not. She is in scrubs and a lab coat at the moment.
We should, and I'll have someone set up the cordon outside with the things, so that we're not infecting the outside.
Yeah. I guess we'll need to get Billy to land the ship so I can use it.
Could ask Captain to bring you a suit. She could probably find one.
I would love that. So I will calm Captain, I guess, like, hey, Captain. I found an alive person and I need to give her a suit so I can take her to my med bay and we can find a cure together.
Is this a person that would be able to find a cure?
Oh, yeah, we're in the med bay. We found one of the surviving scientists.
Oh, fantastic. I was told that there are other suits. I'll locate one.
Thank you.
And I guess I go and try to locate the suits.
Yeah, you're able to find them very easily.
Cool. And haul one off to the med bay using that handy little map that was handed to me.
Awesome. Yeah, you're able to find a suit and head over that way. And yeah, you find the med bay without any issues. You don't run across any other people along the way, and you're able to get the suit for the doctor, who puts it on. So at this point, you have someone to potentially help you figure out how to solve the pathogen part, but you still have the problem of it's on the ship in mass quantities, and there's not really a great containment option at the moment. But people are quarantining and working on solutions.
I did my job. I've done my job.
I just thought of a way out of character that would be a possible way to help contain it, is getting it out of the mist form by dousing it with water, so it's a lot easier to collect.
Yeah. Oh, somebody did mention dehydrating as well.
Yeah, I was like, if we hydrate it, wouldn't that make it more like transmissible? I mean, obviously it wouldn't be airborne, but it could just like seep into the ground.
That's true. Which then could potentially get into the water supply.
Giant air blowers, dehydrators.
I know what we'll do. We'll drop a bomb on it.
I mean, that would turn the humidity essentially that it's living in into a gas, which would probably kill it.
That's true.
So that's a
There's
solution.
a lot of people in here, though.
Well, once they're out, obviously.
If we got the people out first, we could blow it up.
Death by sublimation.
Is the ship in any way functional?
It is not as like a spaceship, no. Like it's not getting off the ground in its current state.
Okay, so we couldn't like yeet it past the atmosphere and be like,
I wish. Toss it in the atmosphere.
Okay. We build a giant slingshot.
Hey, how are the miners coming along in that space elevator?
Right, it's trebuchet. Just get a trebuchet.
Yeah.
We discover gravitons, and then we make a particle beam out of them. We get a deflector dish.
It'll only take us 50 years.
Well, we don't actually need to raise the temperature that high to dehydrate everything on here either.
It's true. But we would need to find a way to raise the temperature.
Flamethrowers. If somebody walks through with flamethrowers and just scours the place.
Yeah, potentially.
That is tempting.
Basically, you want to give the ship a fever, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
That's horrible way to phrase that.
But she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. It's just, hey, why did you take a skiff? Oh, my ship's got a fever. So.
And no one's here to give it Tylenol.
Oh boy.
You have chills, they're multiplying.
But I mean, like, I don't know how else to get rid of like an aerosol contaminant. Like,
well,
I mean, I've got hundreds of ideas, but we'll get to them this episode.
I was like, with that in mind, this sounds like it might be a good place to wrap up our session, and then next week we'll find out what ideas you want to try.
It's even perfect timing. We're actually finishing on time for once.
I know. I'm actually really excited to see what all the theories and ideas you come up with, and see which ones work. It's going to be awesome. I'm already stoked for next week.
And maybe we'll find out if romance can bloom in the med bay.
It's true. We will see. But yeah, that seems like a great place to wrap up the episode. We're going to go on a raid here very shortly, but before we do, I want to give everybody a chance to say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything they'd like to share or plug. And we'll go reverse from how we did intros. We'll start with Goody.
Let's see here. My favorite part was actually like Billy and Daisy doing the most teenager thing they could do and just flying the ship.
Which is hilarious because Billy's in her 30s.
Yeah, but I mean, experience-wise,
she's kind of
a teenager.
I'm pretty sure Daisy has more experience than Billy does at this point.
and just like how badly Daisy wants to make friends, and Billy says no. Also, the captain just being like, "This door is my enemy," and destroying it because they were being
Captain.
butts. And she was like, "No, you don't get to be a crappy captain. I'm gonna force you to take responsibility, whether you like it or not." But yeah, I will be here next week.
Awesome.
I'll show you how to captain.
Right?
Hannah, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything you want to share or plug?
I think that my favorite moment has to be either Annie doing the like up with the captain speaking, or Goody going, "Yeah, but can they reach the ceiling?"
That was great, yeah.
It was so good. As for where folks can find me, I'll be back here. Also next week is patch for Final Fantasy 14, so I'll be there.
Awesome. Next, Canned, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything you want to share or plug?
Gosh, favorite part was probably Captain just deciding fuck this door in particular. Although I gotta admit, fucking Sparky and Annie just having no problems with the corpses now. I thought I was bad with the corpse cannon. No, you're gonna make them into fucking pavers on a side pavers on a fucking skip to the loot trail.
I was imagining more like the little gates on the side of a path, just like to show where the
That's what I was thinking, but like the brick siding, like where you stack them.
Yeah.
A couple of high.
Oh my
Like,
god.
It's just like, and I got so much trouble for the corpse cannon.
The corpse cannon lives on in infamy.
Best part is my current character would be horrified by the corpse cannon.
Yep. It's very true.
Yeah, you can find me back here again next week. I don't do much.
All right. B, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything you want to share or plug?
I think everybody kind of stole my favorite part. There were so many good ones going through. Once again, I apologize for having bees and making Annie just a weirdo. She's just, this season so far, she's gotten like progressively worse. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. It's just strange because she's coming out of her shell a little bit more. So
I'm completely here for it. Love it.
I've been enjoying it. I liked the fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it off as being like. I want to get more Lev and Annie scenes, I think. I'm gonna write it off more so as like, this is a little bit more of what you would have seen if you had met Annie before the memory wipe.
Yep.
Like in her element and just kind of, taking the piss out of everything. So I think that's a valid explanation. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about this whole, like ever since we stepped on the ship, what's going to happen next? I'm so excited. So I'm really interested to see how we kind of round everything out and continue from here and how it plays into the story coming up. But as for myself, you can find me here next week. I'm also over on Nikki's channel on Fridays. She does the Welcome to Madison game over there. So cool. I play Eve over there. She's a federal agent. And Em always makes the jokes about Ben and his distaste for law enforcement and all that good stuff. So it's a time. But yeah, you can check out my work online. I have an art Twitter, which is at Pepper Draws, Pepper like the candy. And yeah, I'm in the middle of working on speaking of Eve, I'm working on a piece of her now. So if you want to check that out, certainly take a look at my art Twitter. Yeah.
Awesome. And last but not least, Quinn, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you, and anything you want to share or plug?
The sensor buoy on top of the shuttle. just the satisfaction of that clunking on the top of Rip's shuttle. the one time we really see him in the episode, and he's just getting shit on. Like, beautiful.
It's like,
But-
where's the boy? Boom.
there you go. Special delivery. Yeah, that I think that of the ones that haven't been mentioned. Actually, aside from that, the captain getting knocked out by the other people was just like not seeing it, but hearing it, like, what are you all doing? Like, I'm the captain now. Very good. But yeah, the whole thing, I agree with Vanessa. This is my favorite kind of thing when you're in like a smaller scope and there's lots of stakes and you never know quite what's going to hit. It's really, really engaging. And also terrifying. So it's good. It's a good mix. Yeah, you can find me here next week. Same channel. I was trying to say same bat channel. Same channel, same time, same me, probably.
Awesome. That just leaves me. My favorite part. The whole thing was great. I love all of your reactions to everything. I particularly enjoyed the Raven. What are you doing? What I described, Dr. Carter. That was really fun. Sorry, Hannah. And actually, that whole section of the session, the problem solving that you all did there, I love watching the way you all like attack a problem and the different perspectives that you try to get on it. It's really amazing. You're all brilliant. I love that. Yeah, I think that's my favorite part. But the whole thing was fantastic. Where you can find me next. Today is Saturday. Yes, Saturday. So I will be on Time Lord's Wife's channel at 3:30 p.m. I'll have to double check. It'll be on my Twitter. But 3 or 3:30 p.m. tomorrow Mountain Time for Dragon's Deep, where I play a halfling paladin who also doubles as a therapist for the party. It's a very fun campaign so far. The cast is phenomenal. Everybody's like just clicking really well with our characters, so it's been a ton of fun to play. Definitely recommend checking it out. That'll be tomorrow, and then Thursday over on Nerdsmith at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, we'll have episode 1 of our pirate heist that I'll be GMing, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just a real quick 3-shot historical fantasy pirate heist. It'll be a lot of fun, and then next Saturday back here for more Animus. So that's everything I've got coming up. Other things to share or plug. We've got our sponsors, which are Fundamental RPG. It's a system that powers Animus, and it's a simple D20 system, and the system itself is not tied to a genre, so you can do anything that you want with it. It doesn't have to be sci-fi. On the channel, we've done high fantasy and paranormal investigations, and pretty much anything you can think of, you can run with the system. It's really cool. You can pick up the physical books on Amazon. There's a link there in chat. Or if you prefer a digital copy, or if you just want to try out the free quick play guide and kind of see how some of the mechanics work before you pick up the whole thing, you can grab both of those at coffee.com/Raven, like it's spelled in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Our other sponsor is Die Hard Dice. They sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. You can use the code FUNRPG, all one word, all caps, to get 10% off of your order. And I highly recommend checking out their magnetic dice trays. I'm using the Purple Velvet square one behind me. You may have seen me roll some dice on that a couple times today. It's really nice. This particular one, the square one, is kind of smaller. So it's great if you don't have like a huge tabletop to work on. Or if you travel with your dice tray a lot. So if you're going to somebody else's house for a game, it's super nice. I really like it. There's a link there in chat for that one. And then other things to check out. If you are interested in hiring me to GM a one-shot or a campaign for you, you are very close to being able to do so. On Twitter at RavenFlightGame. That's I will spell it out in chat here. RAVEN Flight Game is the handle. There we go. And there's going to be more information on how you can hire me to do that there, as well as information on different one-shots that you can order, essentially, and different modules that you can use. So cool stuff there. That is everything. So we're going to go on a raid, and then I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.